Renaissance sculptures from the early Renaissance period to the later Renaissance period. Art. Art, the most powerful medium to express emotions and thoughts in their fullest and true sense. In the field of art history, visual art has occupied a very important place. Paintings, sculptures, and architecture are the three main branches which come under the visual art. Out of the three of them, sculpture is a branch in the three dimensions. Also, sculpture is an important form of public art. Ghiberti, Donatello, Michelangelo, Giambologna, and many other masters contributed and expanded and enriched the horizons of the sculptural art in the Renaissance period. Renaissance movement was a period in the European history which saw renewed interest and revival in the conceptual ideas in the field of art. Italy has a beautiful combination of Renaissance art, sculpture, and architecture. Also, it is a place from where the journey and the progress of the Renaissance sculpture started and flourished later in other parts of the Europe. Hence, through this documentary, we have made an attempt to study and to explore the history of the Renaissance sculptures within the given time frame, that is, from the early Renaissance period to the later Renaissance period. So let's go. So let us start with the background of the Renaissance sculptures. Before studying the Renaissance sculptures, it is very essential to go through the background of the Renaissance movement, that is, the Proto-Renaissance period. In the field of fine arts, Proto-Renaissance period refers to 1300 to 1400 in Italy. Giotto was the most prominent artist of the Proto-Renaissance period. He introduced the new form of figurative realism, which mainly focused on realistic depiction and portrayal of human figures. This principle of figurative realism further fully developed by the Renaissance artists in the Renaissance period. The term Proto-Renaissance, also known as the pre-Renaissance period, when the idea of realism started to develop. The art forms such as fresco mural painting, temporal panel painting, goldsmithing, types of metalwork, and relief sculptures were practiced in the Proto-Renaissance period.
So, let us start our journey with early Renaissance period. Early Renaissance sculptures covered the period from 1400 century to 1500 century. Renaissance sculptures originated in Florence with the famous competition of Doors of Baptistery, which was held in the year 1401. Baptistery was the part of church. It was a building next to church, or maybe incorporated within the body of church, or cathedral provided with altar as a chapel. This place was used for the purification of person's forehead by sprinkling water. There are 3 doors in the baptistry. The first set of doors had been made by Andrea Pisano in the 14th century, and Cloth Guild wanted to create a second set of doors. For that, he held a competition to find a best sculptor. In this competition, the panels by Brunelleschi and Ghiberti got selected for next level. Cloth Guild was very specific about how the models to be made. When both the works compared and analyzed, Ghiberti's panel was superior for the work to be done further. The panels depicted the story from Greek mythology. God commands Abraham to kill his only son Isaac, to sacrifice Isaac. There are some peculiar differences between both the panels. Brunelleschi used separated parts and then assembled all of them and put together, whereas Ghiberti casted only from 2 pieces of bronze. Ghiberti used less bronze and crafted more details. In Brunelleschi's panel, angel is grasping Abraham's hand and stops him in the very moment. But in the Ghiberti's version, the angel is separately depicted. Ghiberti's version was made with more emotional complexity than Brunelleschi's version. Lorenzo Ghiberti, who was a local metal worker, won the competition. He was the first one who completed the first door with bronze, which replaced the previous wooden doors. In his first project, he carved 28 scenes from the life of Christ. After his first achievement, the Guild of Florentine Merchants commissioned him for the second set of doors. This masterpiece by Ghiberti was a pair of bronze doors. In this work, Ghiberti reduced the number of panels from 28 to 10. These 10 panels depict the scenes from Old Testament. The great artist Michelangelo named the set of doors as the Gates of Paradise. The pair of door is 17 feet tall and made with using gold. The remarkable work done by Ghiberti was appreciated and economically supported by patrons. He also carved 2 statues for the facade of Orsan Michel in Florence. Both of these statues were influenced by Gothic style. This bronze sculpture by Ghiberti inspired several artists later. This statue was made to decorate the outer part of Orsan Michel. This piece of work by Ghiberti was first of the several sculptures he created to decorate the outer part of building. The movement and expressions in the statue, most realistic pattern and styles used for the drapery details, posture of body and hand reflects the firmness and strength within the statue. Saint Matthew was another statue Ghiberti created for the Orsan Michel in Florence. Ghiberti used some unique variation in style with the purpose to add the sense of movement. He depicted the statue with the more weight on the particular part. Hence, though at the first it looks in tune, in the closer aspects we clearly notice the variations he used in style and the application of symbolism and gesture as well. The sculptures created by Lorenzo Ghiberti were appreciated for classical beauty as well as for emotive individuality. Ghiberti's projects are the perfect combination of perspective and figurative modeling. 3-dimensional sculptures, slim vertical arrangement, use of bronze casting technique were some of the peculiar features of Ghiberti's works. Hence, he is also considered as founder of Renaissance sculpture. The development of early Renaissance sculptures was followed by Ghiberti's natural successor, Donatello. Donatello was born in 1386 in Florence. He studied and trained in Ghiberti's studio, where he studied Roman architecture and sculpture. This learning resulted into single most influence of Roman art on the Donatello's work. The statue of Saint John was colossal marble piece which was initially placed inside a niche of the Duomo in Florence. This statue pioneered a shift in the style from Gothic mannerism towards naturalism. It is Donatello's earlier work. Saint John has his hand placed carefully on the top of the book, and his eyes seem to be in the search of deeper truth. The statue of Saint Mark, made in marble by Donatello, is the best example for internal focus.
This statue proves authenticity of his experience. Portrayal of cloth breaking the knee, use of stone for depicting beard, eyes, spine makes the statue alive. Cantoria was another kind of sculpture he created. It is singing gallery which was made for the interior of Duomo in Florence.
The Feast of Herod, created by Donatello in the year 1427, is a bronze sculpture. It was his first bronze relief work. This sculpture is considered remarkable for the application of one-point perspective by Donatello. In the statue of Mary Magdalene, made in wood, Donatello stunningly showed the minute details through the position of hands as well as in the facial details and details in hair. 12 feet tall equestrian statue of Gautama is the most important work because of the theme and structure of it. This bronze statue by Donatello has very correct and vibrant details within it. It depicts the carefully carved skeletal details in horse. Horseman Gautamala's facial expression showing the confidence are also depicted in a meticulous manner.
Young David, standing in a relaxed gesture, holding the sword in one hand and standing on the detached, dead head of Goliath. Since the antiquity, the sculpture was associated with architecture, as well as it was included within the architecture. The statue of David by Donatello pioneered the new concept of independent sculpture. It was the first freestanding nude statue since antiquity. Donatello used the lost wax casting technique, in which he used the combination of bronze with large proportion of copper and some amount of tin. This technique gave firmness to this statue. Though this technique was applied before by ancient Romans and Greeks and also used in the medieval period, early Renaissance artists started to illustrate the lost wax casting technique on a large scale. It was the important sculpture for the city of Florence and Florentine people. As the David, a biblical hero, wins over rival with the help of God. Likewise, Florentine citizens defeated the Duke of Milan in the early 15th century. They kept faith and chosen once by God, and hence the subject of David relates and represents the Florentine Republic.
Donatello invented the technique of thin relief, which included plain surface and highly extensive emotions. We notice the beautiful combination of Renaissance humanism, individualism, and classicism in Donatello's sculptures. Donatello pioneered many techniques and styles in early Renaissance sculpture. His work inspired the art and artists of Renaissance period. His techniques are still used by many artists. Donatello is truly the great artist of all the time. Some of other important sculptures by Donatello are Saint George, marble pulpit of the facade of Prato Cathedral.
Verrocchio was also the prominent sculptor in early Renaissance. Many of his works contributed in the transformation and development of Renaissance sculpture. Born in Florence in the year 1435, he was initially trained as a goldsmith. Piero de' Medici and his son Lorenzo encouraged and supported Verrocchio. Bronze statue of David by Verrocchio is peculiar because of the figurative and detailed work on it. David, a biblical hero, posing victoriously over the slayed Goliath. Careful detailing of wound on the head of Goliath and the tightly holded sword in the right hand by David emotes the strength and victory of David. Bronze statue of Jesus and doubting Saint Thomas added movement in sculpture. The position of both characters in half in and half out way is the remarkable feature of this statue. Gentle expressions, detailing in drapery, empathy expressed through the hands of Christ, movements of characters towards each other added the sense of naturalism. Puto with a Dolphin by Verrocchio is the first bronze sculpture since antiquity, which can be seen from every single angle. Equestrian statue of Bartolomeo Colleoni is one of the first equestrian bronze statues casted since antiquity. Verrocchio crafted bronze sculptures as well as the tombs for Medici family. There is wide range of variety we notice in Verrocchio's works. Verrocchio greatly expanded the scope of themes in sculptures. We also came across the figurative modeling in the statues by Verrocchio. Verrocchio also carved elusive emotions, expressions by the perfect application of structural designs within the figure. With respect to the shift and inventions of style during the early Renaissance period, Verrocchio's contribution holds greater significance in it. Other important sculptors of early Renaissance period were Niccolo dell'Arca of Bologna, Domenico Gaggini, Antonia Gaggini from Sicily. Like the Florentine school of sculptures, Venetian, Milanese and Sienese schools were also immersed in the early Renaissance sculpture. Sculptures in early Renaissance promoted and focused on the concept of naturalism and realism. Human anatomy, perspective of the statue and drapery styles were studied carefully in early Renaissance. As the early Renaissance sculptures were associated with religion, most of the scenes and themes used in the statue were taken from Old Testament and Bible.
Now let us take a look to the High Renaissance period.
High Renaissance covered the period from 1500 to 1525. In the High Renaissance period in Italy, many great artists developed and implemented the ideas which were emerged in the early Renaissance period. They reproduced the antique forms in a harmonious and beautiful manner. They also focused to bring ideal naturalism in which they gave importance to highly supernatural and symbolic treatment to their work. In the High Renaissance period, sculptures become less dominated by architecture and painting. Andrea Sansovino was an Italian architect and sculptor. He was the pupil of Antonia del Pollaiuolo. His work during the High Renaissance reflects the shift of style from early Renaissance to High Renaissance. Altar of the Sacraments in Saint Spiriti in Florence is an example of his early style. It depicts high emotional sense and narrative quality. Baptism of Christ was a set of 3 sculptures made in marble. It beautifully shows the calm and dignified poses, strong as well as controlled emotions. This work is one of the first works in High Renaissance style, which portrays the generalized beauty of the history of High Renaissance sculptures is incomplete without the great contribution of Michelangelo. Born on 6 March 1475 in Caprese, Italy, Michelangelo was a sculptor, painter, architect and poet. At the age of 13, Michelangelo received an invitation from the leading patron Lorenzo de' Medici in Italy. In palatial home of the patron, he learnt various art forms, styles and techniques from the other scholars and writers there. Cupid and Bacchus were the earliest sculptures by him. Another works by him were Kneeling Angel and Saint Proclus were placed on the lower level of tomb of Saint Dominic in Cathedral of San Domenico, Bologna. Kneeling on the left knee, the angel gracefully holds candle holder on right knee. The folds, the details in drapery of this statue beautifully outline the body shape. We also see the incredible facial details carved in the statue of Saint Proclus. Widely known masterpiece by Michelangelo was carved from a single piece of marble. The statue depicts the sorrow of Christ's mother as she looks at the dead body of her son. Michelangelo creatively used the marble stone and also used the technique of drilling and cutting the marble, which made the cloth details more realistic. Pieta greatly reflects the ideology of Neoplatonism in High Renaissance. This ideology tells us that we see reflection of God's beauty on the beauty of the earth. The Pieta by Michelangelo has the Renaissance elements in it. Shape and structure of this figure depicts the sense of naturalism and realism, that is, portrayal of the figure in the most realistic and natural manner through the technique which will make the statue alive. To maintain balance, Michelangelo used pyramidal composition in Pieta. He put this figure in an elusive triangle so that the person will be able to view and observe the figure thoroughly by looking at the all-over composition. Such technique gave strong and steady outline to the sculpture. One of the most recognized works of High Renaissance sculptures is the statue of David. In 1501, Michelangelo was commissioned from the Arte della Lana for the statue of David. 17 feet tall statue of Prophet David is a majestic and nude style. Depicts the slingshot he used to kill Goliath, slung victoriously over his one shoulder. This statue reflects his deep knowledge of human anatomy. He portrayed the sense of naturalism through the body structure of David. David by Michelangelo is an ideal example of classical contrapposto. David is standing in quite calm gesture. The weight of the overall body is on the right leg, whereas we see the left leg in much ease. The posture of David tells us that he is just going to defeat enemy Goliath. We could also notice application of the same principle of contrapposto in David by Donatello. Outstanding and deep study of human anatomy has reflected through illustration of muscles, skeletal details of David figure by Michelangelo. If we see the portrayal of David by Donatello and Verrocchio, the portrayal depicts the victory of David after defeating the Goliath. But Michelangelo portrayed David in his moment of going to kill the rival. In the statue of Moses, Michelangelo illustrated absolute spark and strength. His eyes are focused to the left and at some distance. We observe the sense of liveliness in this figure. The statue of deposition reflects his profound knowledge of three-dimension quality. Michelangelo explored the three dimensions on paper as well as he used to sketch the outline and rough layout of sculptures on the paper. Pieta Rondanini is the last sculpture Michelangelo carved. He depicted Christ in his deep sorrow as he is going from the pain of the death. Mary here tries hard efforts to hold up the body of her son. He refused to portray the usual method of carving the perfect body structure in this work. It made the sculpture abstract. Michelangelo was inspired by classical sculptures. He always believed that sculpture is an art of taking away from the stone rather than adding in it. He also restored the classical use of marble. Michelangelo introduced the components of monumentality into all of the aspects, including size and scale of sculptures. Michelangelo was truly a dominant sculptor in the High Renaissance period. And Antonia Begarelli, Raffaello da Montelupo, and many other sculptors contributed in the High Renaissance period.
In the High Renaissance period, artists in Italy started to refuse the unrealistic patterns and themes which were prevalent in the figurative medieval art form. Sculptors in the High Renaissance period promoted naturalism in their work. Thus, we see the importance given to the naturalistic illustration of figures. Modeling, body structure, drapery details become the most important elements for the phenomenal portrayal of sculpture. High Renaissance sculptures also received an independent place in accordance with painting and architecture.
So, now let us move to the late Renaissance period, also known as the Mannerism. The late Renaissance period or the Mannerism emerged in 1530 and lasted until the end of the century. In some places, this period started 5 years prior, that was from 1525 to 1600. This period is regarded as a link between the High Renaissance and the Baroque. In this phase, the Renaissance art and the principle of classicism was flexible and relaxed to give scope and complexity and dynamism. Benvenuto Cellini was an important sculptor of the late Renaissance period. He was a sculptor, a goldsmith, and a writer. He was one of the most prominent Mannerist artists. Cellini's Salt Cellar, 1543. It was a work made in gold. It is one of the most famous works by him. Star, 1542. Ganymede, 1547. Bust of Bindo Altoviti, 1550 are some of the other notable works by him. Perseus with the head of Medusa. It was a work of Benvenuto Cellini. This sculpture is regarded as one of the masterpieces of 16th century Florentine art. It also reveals the political thought. The beheaded Medusa represents the Republican experiment. The work is also famous for its tedious and complex melting process required to complete it. This statue holds all the Mannerist elements like elegance, complexity, gracefulness, and enigmatic features in it. For this work, Benvenuto Cellini accepted the challenge to make it by using bronze casting technique. The application of bronze casting technique made the work well polished. The important sculptor of late Renaissance was Giovanni da Bologna, known as Giambologna. He eventually settled in Florence and worked in the service of Medici family. Spiral angles, twisting poses, elongated form with an aloof subject gazes were the peculiar features of late Renaissance sculptures. The Rape of the Sabian Woman, 1584. Giambologna carved this masterpiece from a single block of stone. This marble work by him is considered as a masterpiece in the Italian mannerism. The figures are made up with beautiful combination of Greek and Mannerist style of sculpture. The scene depicted in this statue is taken from the Roman mythology. The sculpture depicts a young man raising a Sabian woman in his arms, but during this act, he is being stopped and blocked by an elder who is there between his legs. Spiral pattern shaped within the characters made the statue realistic. One of the unique feature about this masterpiece is that Giambologna started to carve the figures from the bottom. Hercules beating Nessus by Giambologna in 1599, Florence. It was another masterpiece by Giambologna. The notable feature of this sculpture is it was carved from a single block of marble by Giambologna. Though his work was influenced by Michelangelo's style, it has its own manneristic thought in it. This work is also one of the finest examples of perfection and detail used of anatomy. Mercury. Equestrian statue of Cosimo I, an equestrian statue of Philip III, statue of Alpinio are some other notable works by Giambologna. Giambologna made various experiments within the bronze statues. He made some large-sized birds in bronze, which were later placed in the gardens and the fountains in the Bomboli Gardens of the Florence at Postellino. Benvenuto and Giambologna's contribution in the field of Manneristic sculpture defined and developed the sculpture in the Mannerism period. The pattern within sculpture became more flexible during the Mannerism period. The progress and development of Italian sculptures from the early Renaissance period to the late Renaissance period saw and witnessed revival of multiple aspects within sculpture and art in Europe, as the city of Florence was well rich and prosperous economically during the 14th to the 16th century. It resulted in good economic support mainly by the Medici family in Florence, gift of Florentine merchants, and by other wealthy families and people. Medici family encouraged the development of art in the Renaissance period in Europe. Further, in the high and the late Renaissance period, also rich families like Francesco de' Medici, Art della Lana, and many other commissioned the prominent as well as other sculptors. They encouraged new experiments and techniques introduced by the sculptors. Marble and bronze were used in a large proportion prominently in the Florentine Renaissance sculpture. Bronze casting technique and lost wax casting technique were applied for giving strength to the sculpture. Along with the Florentine sculptures, the art of carving sculptures also flourished in the northern Italy and in other parts of Europe. Various styles were also emerged within different parts of Europe. The sculptures also depicted the political republican thought of the Florentine people through the statue of David. Mainly equestrian and portrait sculptures were made during the Renaissance period. We also come across a group of portrait sculptures by some of the sculptors. Equestrian statues were made to depict the bravery and victory of the king. After the period of late Renaissance, Baroque style emerged and dominated the Italian sculpture. These sculptures were of round shaped and carved in such a manner that they can be viewed from all the angles. Guy and Lorenzo Bernini prominently contributed in the Baroque period sculpture. The journey of Italian Renaissance sculpture started mainly from the early Renaissance period, adapted and experienced various shifts and changes in style. The journey was not a progress and a history of styles developed through the phases, but also it was a journey of changing ideologies and philosophies, which prominently influenced this art. This journey also saw outstanding creativity of Renaissance masters and recorded history of great contribution. Every block of stone has a statue inside it, and it is the task of the sculptor to discover it. These words by the Renaissance master Michelangelo reflect the significance of the great and creative sculptor. Sculptures and the meaning they want to tell. Renaissance sculptures will always remain a medium to understand the deep ideologies, as it will inspire many future generations. We sincerely pay tribute to all the Renaissance sculptors for their devotion, passion, contribution in the field of sculptures. Thank you.